All right, welcome to Survive to Thrive, everybody. Happy Thursday. Today, we're going to talk about a few different things, shifting market, pricing in a shifting market, and lead generating in a shifting market. So the first thing I want to do is just have some local economists of choice conversations with you. And I'm going to share my screen in order to do that. Let's see. We'll go here. And there. Okay. All right, you should be seeing a screen that says existing home sales descended 4.3% in March. Give me a thumbs up if that's what you're seeing. Got it. Very cool. All right. We're tracking 4.19 million sales in 2024. If you're wondering where I'm at, I'm right here, guys. All right. So just call it 4.2 million home sales, which is up slightly from 2023, but that is based on Q1 results. You're going to see some interesting things in here that I'm going to show you in reference to what the market did in January and then February, and then how it responded in March. Pretty interesting. Down here at the bottom, notice that they are saying that we are in a 3.2 month supply of inventory. Of course, these are national numbers, and all of these numbers are coming from the National Association of Realtors. That supply and demand number is going to be different based on where you live, based on what type of property you're looking at, and also based on price. But if you want a national number, there it is. All right, going to the next slide. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Hold 1 second. There, that's a
Hey,
little.
hey, excuse me, John. I think Daphne Quay is trying to get in. You see her? Oh, she's connecting. Thank you.
Okay. All right, and I'm getting ready to lose my battery. How impressive is that? So give me 1 second, everybody. All right, we're good.
So you are a human, right, John?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, Brian just threw me for a loop because Daphne's in the room, and I saw her present yesterday, and this girl is fire. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to be on top of my game here. All right,
Yeah.
good to see you, Daphne, or good to see that you're here. No camera, but that's okay. All right, so key housing market stats, medium home price, 393,500. That's up 4.8% from a year ago. Interesting. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. And again, we've got 3.2 months supply of inventory, so pretty consistent as far as that's concerned. Next slide. Not that many. Let's try that. All right. That's not what I want. There we go. We're just going to stick with this. All right, next slide. So if we look at the market over the past year and we look at the number of homes that are being sold, I want you to really focus here on the right side of the screen. 2024, number of homes sold in January, February spiked. We're going to talk about spikes and valleys in just a second here. Notice what the market did in March. You know, it had a big fall off from February to March. So in February, if everybody was looking at the number of homes being sold, we're all celebrating and we're talking about what an amazing year it's going to be. Expectations would be different than they are now once we look at the number of homes sold in March. And again, we're tracking approximately 4.2 million homes sold right here. And we are looking at about a 3-month supply of inventory. All right. Look at the market over the last 10 years. If we go back to 2015, this is the number of homes that are being sold. Now, I want you to notice a couple things. Look at the dip right here. So if we're overreacting to 1 month, we would say, oh my goodness, the sky is falling, but it came back the next month And it has several dips in here, and you're going to see that consistently where the market goes up and down for a short period of time. What we're looking for, though, is more of a trend like we see here. This is COVID, by the way. So let's go to 2024, and we're right at about 4.3 million homes or 4.2 million homes. And there's that spike that you saw in February, but it came back down in March. Next slide. All right, if we're looking at the number of homes being sold from 2005 through 2015, our all-time high for that 10-year period is right here. It was 2005, and we were right at 7 million homes sold in 2005. That's pretty huge. Now, the market dropped in 2006, and it really dropped in 2007 for the number of homes being sold. If you look at this, another interesting thing is this number right here is track it across. It's kind of consistent with what we saw just recently, but we really didn't see the market bottom out as far as the number of homes being sold until 2008. What's also interesting is if you look at this green line basically represents what prices were doing. And even though the market shifted in 2007, we really didn't see prices start to drop until 2008. And the prices continued to drop. Even though the number of homes being sold was going up, the prices continued to drop until about 2012, and then they slowly started coming back up, and then more rapidly towards 2020, 2021, and now we've started to see prices level off. What happens next? Not saying. All right, I'm going to stop share for just a moment. Now, what I want to do is I want to go to the blackboard or the whiteboard, and I want to talk about inventory. The inventory number that we shared was 3.2 months supply of inventory, right? Now, another way of looking at that is we've got 10 homes for sale and 3 are selling every 30 days. Now, if there's 10 homes for sale and there's 3 selling every 30 days, we have to be one of those 3 that are going to sell. And if we enter the market at $480,000 because the seller wants to try a price higher than what we recommend, because remember, sellers go to script school too. So the seller tells you we can always lower the price later, or a buyer can always make an offer. Well, here's the challenge with that. If we know that the right price for this home is $470,000, there's an interesting factor in this. There's 2 different markets here. We have a market that goes from 475,000 to 500, and we have another market that goes from 450 to 475, and we're fishing in the wrong pond. We're competing against the wrong competition. And remember, we have to be one of 3 homes that are sold out of 10 that are currently on the market, and we're not even competing against the right competition. So we have 0 chance of being one of the top 3. Now, it's interesting because from 0 to 30 days, that's our best window of opportunity. All right. Notice what's happening because we're in the wrong market. And remember, you have 10 homes for sale, 3 are being sold every 30 days. You're obviously not going to be one of the 3. Now, the seller says, okay, let's lower the price. So they get down here to 470. But they've been on the market for 30 days, so they're a little bit less attractive. Here's the other thing to consider. 3 homes sold, remember? So everybody would say, well, John, now there's only 7 homes for sale, right? Seller's going to tell you that too, by the way, except we know that there's going to be 4 new listings that are going to come on the market. So 30 days from now, there's not 10 homes for sale, there's 11 for sale, and there's still 3 selling every 30 days. Now, in order to sell our home, we have to be one of the 3 out of 11. And we've got 4 new listings that are brand new on the market. If any of those 4 are more attractive, more updated, priced better, those homes are going to get sold before ours does. So we're already at a disadvantage because we have an aging listing. Now, 90 days goes out. And we're still at $470,000. So remember, 3 are selling every 30 days. So now We have 11 for sale, 3 come off the market. That leaves 8, but 4 new homes went on the market. So now we have 12 properties for sale. 3 are selling every 30 days. Now we have a 4-month supply of inventory. And in order to sell our home, we have to be one of the top 3 out of 12. Do you guys see where this is going?
Yeah, the seller's pricing themselves out.
They are, Nathan. Now, what if we would have started not at 470, but what if we would have started, I'm going to erase that. What if we would have started at 465,000? Now we're competing against the right competition and we've priced in front of the market. We're pricing where the market's going versus where it's at, which is the right strategy. And now, do we have a fighting chance of being one of the 3 homes that are going to sell out of the 10 that are for sale? And the answer to that is obviously yes. But we didn't do that. So what we did is we ended up chasing the market down, and maybe 120 days out, buyer comes in and says, I love the home. How long has it been on the market? 120 days. What's wrong with it? Nothing. Cool. I got an opportunity here to get a deal. So I'm going to offer $450,000. Now the seller's motivation is stronger here than it was here. The buyer has the advantage here. The seller has the advantage here. And we end up selling the home for $450,000. We lost $16,000 because we chased the market down, plus the carrying cost. All right, there's 2.
John, this is what's happening in the Austin market. Exactly the scenario right now.
Yeah. Just take this recording and show it to your clients. So
I'm living it every day.
yeah, I know, Brian, and you're a rock star. You don't need to take my recording. You could do this. You could do this very well. So here's what I want you guys to hear. Number 1, the market's shifting. Number 2, you better get really good at having local economists of choice conversations, strategic pricing conversations, which lead to being a fierce negotiator. Now, what's the solution to a shifting market? I'm on page 49 of Shift. All right, here goes. Fewer leads, fewer showings, increased days on the market. Fewer leads, fewer showings, increased days on the market. Raise your hand if you're seeing that right now. The minute these signs show up, take notice. Don't ignore them and don't wait to act. Pay attention to words, okay? The minute these signs show up, take notice. Don't wait to act. This is urgent. Don't ignore and don't wait to act. These are the early warning signals of what is most likely coming next: more inventory and fewer pendings. This is the sequence of a shift. Demand slows down, supply builds up. It starts with fewer leads and ends with even less closings. Buyers and sellers get thrown for a loop. And they, in turn, throw the market for one. What felt like an unlimited supply of buyers and sellers suddenly feels very limited. Abundance quickly shifts to scarcity. Now, here's the really important part, guys. But just because the market has moved from more to less doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. Just because the market has moved from more to less doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. How many homes you sell is a choice. Now, if there's 4 million homes, 4.2 million homes sold in the US in 2024, and there's 1.5 million real estate agents that are part of National Association of Realtors, you do the math. That's less than 3 sales per agent in the United States. Now, does that mean that you're going to sell 2.7 homes? That's a choice. You either choose to get your unfair share, or you choose to allow the market to dictate how many homes you're going to sell. As leads become fewer, you must recognize the situation and make a more concerted effort to generate them. In order to recognize what's going on in the market, you have to pay attention to what's going on in the market. You have to research this daily. You have to be a collector of data in order to be that local economist of choice. So you can have these strategic pricing conversations with your clients in order to be able to position them to beat the competition. Because what's interesting about reading these articles that I shared with you, the national media talks about it's still a seller's market, life is good. I'm like, yeah. However, there's 10 homes for sales, 3 are selling every 30 days. That means if I'm putting a listing on the market, if I don't price it right, it's going to sit. I don't care if it's a seller's market or not, it's going to sit because there's only going to be 3 that sell. That's it. 3 are selling every 30 days. And there's 10 for sale. That's a 3-month supply of inventory, by the way, which is exactly where we're at. All right. You can't sit back. You must be more rigorous and more resolute in your lead generation than ever before. So what does that mean? More rigorous and more resolute in your lead generation than ever before. And before I answer that question, let me finish the sentence. You must be more rigorous and more resolute in your lead generation than ever before, and more so than anyone else. This is a competition. You are competing with every other real estate agent in your market for your unfair share. I have a pizza party. There's 10 people coming to my party. We order 2 large pizzas, 20 slices. Everybody gets 2. Life is good. The pizza company screws up the delivery and they only deliver 1 pizza. There's 10 slices. There's 10 of us. Is everybody getting 1 slice? That's a real question. I'm waiting for somebody to answer it. Does everybody get 1 slice?
Yes, if you have a knife and cut the slices in half.
Well, okay. That's a very diplomatic answer. Thank you, Brian. Here's my
But
answer.
no, the answer is no.
Okay, thank you. Here's my answer. No, they're not, because I'm still getting my 2. Matter of fact, I think I want 3. The rest of you can figure it out. That's the mindset you have to have. You have to be more rigorous and more resolute in your lead generation than ever before, and more so than anyone else. So what does that look like? If you were in lead generation 2 hours a day, you got to double down and lead generate 4 hours a day. You have to set standards. You have to set non-negotiable standards. But actually, for those of you who were in Tampa yesterday, this is the part of my presentation that I didn't get to because I talked too long in the first part. Oh man, too bad. Sorry. So you have to set non-negotiable standards. Okay, so here's what that means to me. I'm going to make 60 phone calls. I'm going to have 20 conversations. Not 19, not 18, not 17, because it's close enough, or I'll make it up tomorrow, or any other lie that I tell myself in order to settle for less than the standard. Here's a challenge with that. Let's say you're knocking doors and your goal is to talk to, no, it's not a goal, it's a standard. Your standard is to have 20 conversations and you've had 19. Holy cow, close enough. I'm getting into my car. It's hot out here and I'm going home, jumping in the pool. What if the 20th conversation would have been $1 million listing that you would have got? And the scariest part about this is you're never going to know. You didn't get the listing simply because you didn't have the conversation. Standards are important. So more rigorous, more resolute is set standards, make them non-negotiable, and don't ever settle for anything other than the standard. So my standard is 60 phone calls or knocking on 60 doors. I'm having 20 conversations. I'm going to find 1 new buyer or 1 new seller every single day, whichever comes last. 20 conversations and 1 new buyer or 1 new seller every day is 250 a year, whichever comes last. It's a standard, and I won't settle for anything else. And if that means I'm lead generating 8 hours a day, then, well, that's what I'm going to do. You adopt that strategy, your sales will go up. Matter of fact, they will blow up. It doesn't matter what the market's doing, you're going to rise to the top. In 2005, 6, 7, This is exactly what we were doing. Exactly what we were doing. And at the time that we were doing it, our team was not in the top 100 in our market. I don't know where we were, but I know we weren't even in the top 100. By 2008, we were number 5 out of 12,000 agents because we did this. All right, talk to me.
I think all this is spot on.
Thank you. Belly, I'm Nathan.
John, the book says you must be more rigorous and resolute in your, I'm reading the book too, John.
Here you go, my friend.
In your lead generation than ever before, and more so than anyone else. What comes up for me on those 2 words, rigorous, time blocking is what comes up for me. And I'm just curious, what can you say about that, about the word rigorous? I see that in lead generation that I see myself with my day-to-day operations or whatever the heck I have to do. When I do not time block, then those other things seem to creep into my schedule. And so I'm just curious to hear your thoughts on that.
So what comes to mind for me is time block for lead generation, like you would time block for $1 million listing. If you're sitting at a kitchen table on $1 million listing and your phone rings, you're not answering it. If you get a text message, you're not looking at it. You're not, hey, can you guys hold 1 minute? I need to look at Facebook and see if anybody commented on my post this morning. You're not doing that. All right. Until then. That was funny, right, Daphne? And for me, it means until lead generation is done, until I've had those 20 conversations and found one new buyer or seller, everything else and everyone else is a distraction.
Well said. Thank you.
John, what qualifies as a new buyer or seller?
Somebody that says, I want to buy a home. Somebody that says, I'm thinking of selling my home. Now, what I didn't say is within a certain time period. So, Brian, it doesn't matter to me if I'm circle prospecting and I talk to somebody and they say, yeah, you know, I'm thinking of selling my home, but not for 6 months. Cool. I'm going to be selling home 6 months from now. I'd love to earn the opportunity to be your agent. Or you have a buyer walk into an open house and they say, we're just looking. We're probably going to buy in about a year. Remember, buyers and sellers go to script school too. That's their script. They think it's going to get rid of you. It's not going to get rid of me. My response to that buyer is awesome. I'm going to be selling homes a year from now. I'd love to earn the opportunity to be your agent. Hey, by the way, everybody, before we run out of time, Daphne Quay, if you want to learn how to YouTube like a rock star, look this girl up.
Thank you. It was such a fun event yesterday. It was awesome getting to meet you, even though it was brief. We all learned so much.
Yeah, you know, Daphne, I'd love for you to check out my YouTube channel and then tell me everything that's wrong with it.
I'm sure it's good. Yeah, I'll have to take a look.
After listening to you, I'm like, oh yeah, I suck.
But it's effective.
I guess. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Hey, guys, would it be valuable? Daphne, I'm going to voluntold you here. Would it be valuable to you if one Tuesday or Thursday, for those of you who are new to the platform here, Tuesday and Thursday is training and coaching. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is script and role play practice. Would it be valuable to you to have Daphne as a guest speaker teach us how to create an amazing YouTube channel? Who's in? Raise your hand. I see lots of hands here, Daphne. You in for that?
Yeah, totally. I would love to.
I'll reach out to you.
Perfect. Do it.
I'll make it happen.
Great. I'm excited.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap. You guys make it a great day. Get out there, get into action. Remember, reject rejection. No is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. No simply means not yet. Remember that people will never change their mind, but they will make a new decision based on new information. Go get them.